think a Ford Escort could beat their cars, but evidently I had a fast enough car to outrun the Virginia State Police. So, along with street racing, we always went to different car shows. I was into lowriders. I had an Impala with hydraulics at one time. I had a 66 Fairlane, so we like to travel around to, different car shows. We'd go to car meets. But when I got the Escort, and was racing, we'd still go to different events. And one of the fondest memories I have of an event is the East Coast Nationals car show. It was at Richmond. I lived in Hampton, Newport News area, which was about an hour east of Richmond. So we would drive up there for anything that they had, go to their racetracks and stuff. We didn't have no prep back then, so if you were going to race, you had to get out on the track and blow your CV joints or whatever. So we kept it on the street. But me and my whole group, we go up to the East Coast Nationals car show. We have a blast. They had, wet t-shirt contest and, dragon contest. If you guys have never been to a lowrider show, I highly want you to try to find one and go to one. There's no better fun than that. But we leave and we're driving down the interstate, and we got an hour ride back, so we're going balls to the wall. If you watched, I don't know, Fast and the Furious, whatever, you're doing a zigzagging. 64, Interstate 64 down there is 3 lanes wide, and coming from Richmond to Williamsburg, it's only 2 lanes, so we're like zigzagging through traffic, and I'm passing on the shoulder, and just doing all kinds of illegal shit, going about 100 and 110 down the interstate, all of us, a whole line of us. And so my buddy Carl gets up beside me, and we got an open area, and he's yelling over at me, you don't have no more, you don't have no more. And I had taken the limiters and all that off that Escort. I don't even know how fast that thing would go. To this day, I couldn't tell you how fast it would go because I never maxed it out. But that day, I heard his Bumblebee in a tin can. He downshifted his Honda, and we take off. We're flying down the interstate, and I lay into my car and just walk away from him. Well, then there's a car and a tractor trailer, and I'm in the right lane. So I hear him start to slow down, and I go on the shoulder and go around the tractor trailer. Well, I look back in the mirror. Here comes Carl. He followed right behind me. He went on the shoulder, and we're blowing by this tractor trailer. I'd say anywhere from 90 to 100 mile an hour. I come around the tractor trailer, and about 4 car lengths out in front of the tractor trailer, there's a Virginia State cop. So I pass him on the shoulder too, just blow by him, keep going. He had already seen me, so it was already over with. Well, I pass him, and Carl follows right behind me and passes him too. I look back, I see his lights come on, Carl pulls over, cop pulls over. I keep going. I said, to hell with it, I'm out. There was only one. I know a radio moves faster than a car, but I'm going to try my limits. So I'm flying at this point, and Carl calls me on a cell phone. Back then we didn't have these fancy things. I had a flip phone, or I don't know what kind of phone it was, but I think I do. It was a Nokia, like a little blue Nokia phone. And he says, "Where are you at?" And I said, "I'm almost to Williamsburg." And we had gotten pulled over in, God, I forget the name of that town, that exit, but it was probably 20 miles from Williamsburg, and I was already coming into Williamsburg. And he says, "Well, you need to, like, get off the interstate. They got an APB out on you." He knows, your color, make, model of your car. They're looking for you. So I jump off in Williamsburg and I go down Route 60, and I'm still flying. I mean, I figured if anything, I was going to get home. And I race down, get on Jefferson Avenue. I go on down. I get almost home, and I hear like a thumping noise above the car, and it was loud enough to where I thought it was a flat tire, but I knew it wasn't a flat tire. And I kind of leaned my head out and looked up, and it was a freaking helicopter, man. They had me pinned to the wall, but I was like, you know what, I'm making it home. So I was only about 5 miles away from home. I used every side street, everything, and I got home. I went home, put the car in the garage, and ran in the house. And I don't know what I was thinking. I was so young. I was probably 18, 19 years old, but I was thinking, if I just run in the house and strip down to my boxer shorts and lay in the bed, maybe they'll go away. So I laid down in the bed, and about 5 minutes later, they're like surrounded my house, beating on the door, telling me to come out. And I walk out in my boxer shorts and act like, oh yeah, what's going on? And they drag me out, throw me on the ground. I walked into court that time with over 17 tickets. I had evading and eluding, illegally passing on the shoulder, reckless driving, racing. I mean, the list just goes on. They found my gun in my car. They got me with concealed weapon. That was, I think, the craziest time in Virginia, next to them getting me on Salters Creek. Having a helicopter chase you all the way to your house and then grab you and throw you on the ground. I mean, and props to the Virginia State cops. I mean, maybe they just didn't have enough in their Hemis and their Crown Vics to chase me down. They had to call the helicopter in, but I didn't think a Ford Escort could beat their cars. But evidently, I had a fast enough car to outrun the Virginia State Police.